Silver might be benefiting from Russian central bank buying. This is massive news. We've never seen Russia focus on silver before. This has just been coming out the last couple of months that Russia is focusing specifically on silver, along with China announcing this at the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, July 6th and July 7th. And you have India also, in my latest video, also focusing on silver. All of these countries are focusing on silver. This is huge, along with Trump throwing 30% tariffs on Mexico and European silver imports on August 1st, folks. There is so much happening right now that is bullish for silver, along with silver right now sitting at $38. It definitely did surpass the expectations of that correction that a lot of people were worried about. I mean, folks, this is exciting times. First and foremost, my name is Silver Slayer. If you want the latest information of what's happening across the globe and how that affects the price of precious metals, make sure you click subscribe. Let's jump into this article. So silver is moving out of a long shadow cast by gold. Oh yeah, and actually one of my recent videos, Citibank or Citigroup, is very bullish on silver in the next 6 to 12 months, and they are very bearish on gold. They say that silver will go up to $43 plus, but gold will drop down to $2,500 in the next 6 to 12 months. Very interesting times, folks. Usually, if someone is going to be bullish on silver, they're also going to be bullish on gold, but now people are starting to shift and realize that silver could take on an entirely new life by itself, which I've been saying will happen eventually for years. I've been saying that for years. So anyways, silver's moving out of a long shadow cast by gold, its precious metal sister, with hints of a major new buyer, Russia's central bank, starting to influence the silver price, which has risen to a 14-year high. Data is scarce, but since Russia revealed a plan late last year to add silver for the first time to its state reserve fund, the silver price has outperformed gold. Part of the reason for silver's 30% rise since early January compared with gold's 27.5% increase is a simple case of silver trying to catch up with gold, which has been a commodity sector star for the past 3 years. There are also signs that the investors have hit the pause button on gold, which has more than doubled since 2022, driven initially by central bank buying, with private investors later entering the market. And we are seeing some big players in the game. We just saw David Bateman buy $1 billion worth of silver, took it all for physical delivery, actually took a picture of his $1 billion worth of silver that he purchased and posted it on Twitter. It's insane. All 1,000-ounce Comex bars. It's the craziest picture I've ever seen, honestly. Go check out that video if you want it. Anyways, silver has been slower off the mark, lacking buyers with the firepower of central banks or well-funded ETFs and rich private buyers. But if the Russian central bank is quietly building a silver stockpile, as seems to be the case, then it is possible to see other banks aligned to Russia following its lead. Silver bricks, and this is what I was going into, right? I'm so glad. See, I didn't read all the way down this article. I'm so glad that they also caught this. BRICS nations, a loose confederation led by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are seeking to break the stranglehold held by the US dollar on world trade. Part of the BRICS plan is to accumulate gold as they look for a way to bypass the dollar, though with the gold price hovering close to all-time highs, that action's been hugely expensive. And right, why would you want to buy something at the highest price it's ever been? That makes no sense. You want to buy something when it's low, undervalued, not over the value. Silver is undervalued compared to gold, or gold is overvalued compared to silver. Regardless, wouldn't you want to buy something that's undervalued compared to something that's overvalued? Silver which has always been seen as an alternative to gold, even to the point of acquiring an unkind nickname of the poor man's gold, might enable members of the BRICS group to push on with their plan to break free of the dollar. And they actually did this. July 6th and 7th, China announced They're focusing on silver. And not only that, this is where things get really deep. And this is why you got to be subscribed, because I doubt you heard this anywhere else. Trump's name, by the way, was not mentioned at the BRICS meeting. They reverted to the United States president. They just did not mention his name. He was like the boogeyman. They went every other route talking about the United States, but did not mention Donald Trump's name at all. By the way, at all. And this is probably why. Trump threatened them, said, if you guys try to dethrone the dollar, I will throw 100% tariffs at you. 100%. And do you think he's bluffing? He's bluffing? No, he's not. Strong industrial demands also adding to silver's appeal as an investment, as is the substitution factor in jewelry, where gold has been priced out of some markets. Top-line jewelry makers have added silver to their offerings in hope of appealing to younger buyers who cannot afford gold. Demand for silver and technology is also rising, especially in the production of electricity-producing solar panels, where silver is used in paste form on the front and back of panels. Keyword and back now. That means double the silver. It used to be on the front, but now they realized, wait, these solar panels that are in deserts, we can put panels on the backside because the light that reflects off of the sand can hit the backside of the panel, doubling the efficiency. So now solar panels use twice as much silver because of that small little innovation. Fun fact, folks. Why you got to be subscribed. But the biggest factor at work in the silver market today appears to be investment demand, with the metal increasingly seen as a gold substitute along with platinum, another precious metal with a growing investment following and a rising price. I actually have platinum specials right now. I have gold, silver, platinum specials. 1 ounce Asahi bars, $1.99 over spot. I forget I think it's the 1 ounce gold rand for like $59 over spot, something like that. But send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. They have great prices, weekly specials. Andy Scheckman's the CEO, so you know we're legit. So a measure of the improving appetite for silver is the basic test of the gold to silver ratio, an imprecise measure which compares silver to gold. Historically, ratio is around 65. Means it takes an ounce of gold, which is valued at roughly 65 times the amount of silver, which is insane to think, since silver has 65,000 times more uses than gold does. Why is gold 65 times more valuable? Gold to silver ratio slips. The latest reading is 88, which indicates that silver is cheap relative to gold. Not everyone believes gold to silver ratio is a useful measure of the price of either metal, whereas the entry of a new class of buyer could be significant. There has been no further news since Russia's central bank last year announced that it would add silver to the country's precious metal reserves, dominated by gold and platinum. But the relatively strong performance recently by silver compared with gold could be an indication of increasing central bank activity in the silver market. So, folks, there you have it. Russia's now joining in, and if just think about this logically, if you have all these wealthy billionaires, Warren Buffett, Jim Rogers, David Bateman, so many. I can't even think of all the billionaires I've talked about that have mentioned silver. All of these billionaires, they are successful. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They're successful because they know the ins and the outs of the markets. You also have the banks, Russia's central bank now, all these banks, India as well, and you have all of these countries. So you have the billionaires, the bankers, and the countries all getting into silver, with the LBMA silver vaults at record lows, historically low records of silver inventories at the LBMA. That's also breaking news I covered earlier this week, which is why you got to be subscribed. What does all that mean? Do you think that's all by accident? Do you think David Bateman just threw $1 billion at silver just as a guess, as a hope shot? No, that's his bet against the dollar. So anyways, folks, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are a veteran and you want an opportunity to expand your medical benefits, your health benefits, I've partnered with American medical experts. They help veterans get the medical benefits they deserve. This is mental health or physical. And this company is incredible. The VA doesn't do much. You can get a free consultation with the link in the description. And yeah, over 17 million veterans aren't getting their full benefits. And honestly, it's probably higher than that. So yeah, links in the description. Take care of yourself, folks. If you know a veteran, send them that link. You or anyone. Let's support the troops. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.